the Braves, and a save there, and they score! So here's Lassen with a shot, and he scores! So he tries to net walking, and he shoots and scores! Mustangs draw first blood. Teresi hits a shot, and he scores! 4-4. Lachlan going to the net, shoots, and he scores! And towards Cox, Cox gets the shot away, Davis makes the save. No, it's in! It's in! First take the lead!
Live from O'Brien Group Arena in Melbourne, this is AIHL TV. The regular season is brought to you by Air Canada, who offer the only daily and non-stop service to Vancouver. For details, visit aircanada.com.au. Owners are a direct infrastructure investor with a portfolio worth in excess of $50 billion. ATC Productions, your live event technical provider. And APA Group, delivering Australia's energy.
On today's game from O'Brien Group Arena features the Melbourne Ice and the Adelaide Adrenaline. It's a battle of 7th v 8, so in the context of the finals, it has no real interest, no bearing on the finals at all. But for these two sides, it's about pride. My name's Michael Clough, and well today in commentary, best thing I can say is God help me, because I am joined by the boss today, James Morgan. Welcome, James.
It's a very good afternoon to you, Michael. Welcome to my commentary box.
No worries.
We're a little bit short today, I think it's fair to say. We've got, Jaff over in Borneo?
Yeah, finding new recruits for Melbourne Ice for next year.
That's right. I think Steve White has managed to dust off his old skates and libido, and I think he's out playing a game somewhere. G'day, Sandy.
Sandy's just doing.
Yeah, so it's going to be a pretty interesting one, I think, Cluffy.
I've been told by, actually, Steve, he's been playing against the mustachio on Rod Johns in a couple of weeks.
I tell you
Can
what,
we stream that one? Just for the hilarity
I don't think I can hold a candle to the great, the great Rod Johns Madden, but look, I'll do my best with you today. It's a little bit different to actually be watching the game from inside the freezer here. For those that don't know, sitting down at ice level, it is very, very cold in this commentary box. And one of the key differences I find is the players are a heck of a lot bigger when you're not looking at them through a tiny little camera monitor.
That is true. I should warn you in advance, you probably won't feel your toes or your fingers for a couple of days after doing today's game.
Well, and for a second there, I thought you had your hand on my leg, but actually I found out that was my hand and it's just gone numb. So
now it's time for the pre-game presentation.
Once a young person is settled in that studio, we offer them an education scholarship to get them back to school. I want to thank the team today for supporting Kids Undercover and acknowledge that today makes the start of Homelessness Week. So tonight, when it's cold on your way home, please spare a thought for everyone that doesn't have a safe and secure place to reside tonight. Have a great match, team, and go Melbourne.
Thank you very much, Joe. Now, you may have noticed some young fellas heading out onto the ice there. They are our representatives to the Under-13 Ginsberg Tournament Victorian team. Please welcome them to the ice. Big round of applause for them. Thank you. And I would like to ask the captains to come forward for the ceremonial face-off.
Our land abounds in
Well, that's all for the pre-game, and like I said earlier, this game, in terms of the finals, doesn't have any real consequence to it. But it's a matter of pride. We've got a young, developing Adelaide Adrenaline side who I thought actually were pretty good and showed a lot of resilience last night against the Mustangs. They kept trailing, they kept fighting a way back in. Unfortunately, couldn't take the win in the shootout. Against Melbourne Ice side, well, it's been a horror season. It's probably the quickest and best way to put it. But they need to finish this season off well. If nothing else, for something to build on for next year.
Oh, look, I think it's fair to say that that both of these teams have probably had years that they'd rather forget. But I think the real juxtaposition here is that these two teams are both at very, I guess you could say, different parts of the curve, I suppose. With Adelaide looking to their couple of years that are coming ahead, the way forward for them is a little bit clearer. I think a lot of their younger talent, is a bit more apparent at the moment, whereas Melbourne Ice, they've been riding high for a lot of years. They're probably on the downside of that slope at the moment, and trying to work out what their way forward's going to be. Speaking to club owner Andy Lamrock earlier in the year, he told me that, look, they always knew that a year like this was coming, and the real question was, when was it going to be? Perhaps, a little bit more work needed to be done there in being able to explain that story to the fans, perhaps. But even so, I mean, as I look around today, there's still plenty of people here, and you wouldn't necessarily know that this game is a dead rubber.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly a hell of a lot more in here tonight than there was yesterday for the Mustangs.
Oh, well, absolutely right. Absolutely right. Now, to be fair, I mean, it's a Saturday. There was a lot of football on here in Melbourne, etc. So,
and Sunday, you've only got Carlton GWS. Well, that says it all, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly right.
Opening face-off, and it's won by the Adrenaline. Corey Stringer had an outstanding game yesterday. Only finds Jack Carpenter back from injury 2 weekend. The Adrenaline get it back now through Jake Riley. Usually for Fleming, now Carpenter for the ice. Takes his time, kept his composure, finds Corbett. Take it past the blue line, try to cut the lane, gets a shot away. Save made there by Sebastian Anderson. So now Adelaide have it through Foal. Having that one in the corner. Fleming and Leamy. Crow left it behind. Haven't done our best. Finds Foal, and Downey makes the save. Spills the puck though, so the puck is still alive. Players from both sides just batting at that one. Chance for the Adrenaline though. And the Ice will make a line change and just calm things down a little. Liam Webster, captain, the veteran, slows it down, goes stretch pass, it's a good one. Shot, and Sebastian Anderson makes the save. Chris Wong's shot.
And don't forget, we're going to be running your tweets on screen today during today's broadcast. To get your tweets on screen, just make sure you hashtag AIHL Game Day on Twitter. It's pretty interesting taking a bit of a look here at the goalies in net. You've got Downey for the Ice. He's got a save percentage of .869. Up the other end of the ice there, you've got Anderson in net, .897.
Might probably, especially, I can say he's the best goaltender this year, considering the team he's basically had in front of him for the most part. But I would love to have had Jeremy Friedrich play as well. Two of the young guns, two young prospects. It would have been just great to watch as an Aussie hockey fan, but we get to see a master at work.
Practice this year, Cluffy.
But now Velez for the Ice, takes the blue line. Trying to pass out wide, not much was happening. And Holland will clear now for the Adrenaline. Pass finds Rezic. Rezic from a tight angle, that's hit the back netting. We'll have a face-off.
Joey Rezic. Now, there's a bloke that has got quite a prolific social media following, I think.
Yeah, Aussie Joe.
Good old Aussie Joe on Twitter. What do you think he's got in store for us in the off-season?
Rumoured moves while remaining in Adelaide.
I think he just about had a room that he was going to every team in the competition.
Bar CBR break. So from the face-off, it's won by the Adrenaline. McGuinness, typed in the corner by Graham. Battle behind Danny Zett, and Kachia will get there first for the Ice. At Dalsar. Trying to get past out towards Sam Hoddick. Couldn't find him, and the Adrenaline should be able to clear now. So Apperson. That's a lovely pass. The shot was just a little wide by Tombleson. So Hoddick, just assessing his options, finds Nathan Kachia, passes a good one. Out towards Delsar, will wait for the trailer. Fighting and shooting and smashing, and Anderson makes a great save on the shot by Todd Graham.
Really great setup there, breaking in by the Melbourne Ice. 3 men, 2 back for the Adrenaline. That was a really good attempt.
Corbett finds Delsar, looking towards Crow, pinching in. Now Corbett, send that one to the corner, it's going to be a foot race. Crow leads in front of Boyle. If Webster gets a bit of time, the shot was blocked, good work there by Foal. And the pass, a poor one there by Webster, but pick up the crumbs. There was Nate Fleming saving the day for the Ice. Let's just take a breather. Stretch pass, looking for Crow. Now Stringer, he's opposing number 4. Carpenter finds Corbett. Cole chops off the pass, and then Corbett chops off his. Fleming out wide to Crow. This is a good setup for the Ice. Corbett winds up, shoots, but the shot was well wide in the end. So Adelaide clear through Best. Out wide towards Fold. Had a busy shift. Fold up against Marcus Wong. In the corner now, Melbourne Ice should be able to clear through Fleming. Direct pass. Finds Powell on his own, stretches Anderson and scores! Melbourne Ice take the early lead. They lead 1-0.
Fantastic game sense there by Powell. Hasn't he had a fantastic season coming into the game today? What's that? He's over 14 points for the season from 19 games, which actually I think is probably a high point for him in the last couple of years. But look at this. Great stretch pass. He just waits out Anderson there, puts it straight around him. All the Adrenaline players, they were caught flat-footed.
Well, Melbourne Ice clearly going for the headman and the stretch pass. It's a clear tactic, and they've actually profited from that one. And they take their lead as Marcus Wong, again going for the stretch pass, but that's being chopped off by Caleb Apperson. Back out towards Ellis Katroska. Back to Apperson, the imports teaming up. In the corner, Rezic. Back to Katroska. Holland, well, just fanned on that one. Just got to send that into the corner. Bronte. Now Powell, the goal scorer. Finds Josh Velez. Velez fires, shoots. And Anderson covered that one pretty easy. It's back netting. We'll have a face-off with 10:27 remaining.
There's a really good effort there at the blue line by Chris Wong to be able to stay on side there and not break that play up. And now it's a very good afternoon and a good morning to Anders.
Well, yeah, and it's good to see Melbourne Ice this season because they've had a few Fox games recently, haven't they?
That's right, that's right.
Yeah, the Ice will miss the finals at this stage. First time, I think, since 2005 they haven't been in the finals. So Kachia, it's a shot away. Anderson again with the save. Delsar. Get the puck back. On the half, we'll get there towards Kachia. Looking for Hoddick, couldn't find him. And the Adrenaline able to clear. To Stapleton up against Graham. Graham plays that one off the boards to himself. And leaves an open space. A chance there for Hoddick. Hoddick finds Delsar. The Stringer hasn't been able to clear, kept in by Clark. Clark up against Stringer, and Clark's done well for the Ice. Just worked his way through traffic, tried to get a pass by to Corbett, just on the wrong side of him though.
Geez, Corbett, hasn't he had a fantastic season? Really was in great position there, right in the slot at the back of all of the Adrenaline players.
Not bad for a bloke who's nudging 40.
No, not wrong, not wrong.
Now I live by a theory that if you're older than me, you should probably not be playing. Scott Corbett defies that. And now Webster. Corbett finds Fleming. Best will clear for the Adrenaline. That will be icing.
So just having a look at the Adrenaline, tell you what, hasn't Katroska been great for them this year?
Oh, he has been. Well, he was a player with them last year, and he's been superb since he's arrived.
32 points in 23 games. That's some pretty fantastic work there for a team that, you know, probably the opportunities just haven't been coming to quite so often.
And actually set up the goal that got the Adrenaline going last night as well. Another stretch pass finds Crow. Crow tried to work around Abson. It was just too big. Locked the pass. Hit away by Webster. Going back to Jamie Holland for the Adrenaline.
Just thinking about yesterday's game, I think a lot of people expected the Mustangs to dispatch with the Adrenaline with a lot more ease than they eventually did, only getting over them late in the shootout. The Adrenaline are a funny team like that. You know, one week they can, they can find themselves on the wrong end of the scoreline, and then the very next week they can beat Tampa Brave.
Yep. Well, you say Adelaide could be like Mustangs could be like that. Well, that's a dangerous pass there. Downey forced into action. That was almost a soccer move, wasn't it? Pass back to your goalie.
Yeah, not so sure about that one.
I don't think it was the
I think that one came as a bit of a surprise to him, to tell you the truth.
So now it's Velez for the Ice. Back to the point. Huddy gets a shot away, and in fact that was Declan Bronte. And Anderson makes the save.
Good save there by Anderson. I think he's been a real calming influence there as well for the Adrenaline. Watching him out there at the moment, you can actually see him talking to all of the players on the ice. He definitely is the general at the back, calling them forward. Adelaide just making an attempt at a very late change there. They've been sent back by our referee. And they will line up for a face-off. 7:55 remaining in the first. Nice goal up over the Adrenaline.
So Adelaide win the face-off. Apperson gets it out towards Rezek. Well, overskating that one was Anderson. Shot there by Delsa. Top of the crease. Great work in there by Anderson. Poking it was Clark.
Shinoba's Creed. Come on, Adelaide, we can do this. Sebastian, you bloody legend. Keep up the great work. Great to have AIHL fans from Adelaide joining us on the stream today.
We can see there, Harley Anderson just overskated, create the opportunity. And Temper just for a moment there caught Anderson out of position, but Hoddick just couldn't get the shot away quick enough.
It's interesting, the Adrenaline seem content to let a lot of these ice players be sitting around their goaltender. I think that's pretty risky stuff there. Most of Melbourne Ice's goals, I guess with the exception of the ones that you can count on from Liam Webster out at the point, so many this season have actually come from right in front of net like that. I think that's a very dangerous thing to do with the Melbourne Ice.
So face-off attacking zone for the Ice, but it's the Adrenaline who win the face-off. Boyle skating in the centre lane is always a dangerous move, but he's got away with that one. Guinness overskated. Kachia had it, then lost it. Hoddick happy to play that one off the boards. Getting back with the veteran Sableton now for the Adrenaline. So Stringer. Adelaide clear, but only as far as Graham for the Ice, who's turned it straight back over to Stapleton. And along the half wall. Albert will swoop in for the Ice. Pass misses intended target there in Kachia. Now Corbett. Skating like a 20-year-old. Just couldn't get that final pass away, and even then, the Ice had a great opportunity, couldn't finalise it.
Deary me, Corbett didn't know where that was by the end, and I think that meant that Anderson didn't have much of a chance of knowing either.
Well, the Chaos Ball could be a very dangerous thing. Now Crow for the Ice. But he got middle lane, little backhanded shot. Anderson sliding well out of his crease, had that one covered while they face-off.
Fantastic positioning there by Anderson to come forward for that play. Melbourne Ice still relying very heavily on that stretch pass. I mean, it's been working out for them, there's no doubt about that, but just very, very vulnerable to that being picked off in the neutral zone. And we've seen, you know, perhaps some stronger oppositions do exactly that this season, time and time again.
But cleared by Boyle for the Adrenaline, but Fold's pass has been chopped off. It's still in the corner. The Carpenter to Webster. The low shot off the pads of Anderson. Corbett leave it behind. Fleming back to Webster, gets a shot away. It's a tip, and it's in. So Fleming gets a tip, and the Ice take a 2-0 lead.
Well, there you have it. It's very, very dangerous to give that man Liam Webster time and space out at the blue line. He's got a real laser of a shot, and although that one probably wasn't one of his quicker ones, once you set up that screen in front of Anderson, life gets very, very difficult. I'm not sure who it was eventually that it came off on the way through, whether or not...
Yeah, it was Fleming who got the tip.
Yeah, I think Fleming might have got a deflection on that one, but dearie me, you really got to take that time and space away and shut down a player that's as good as Liam Webster.
So goal there to Fleming. It's actually his 7th of the season. Currently Melbourne Ice's leading scorer as far as the active players on the roster, with both Lawrence and Anderson, Netzel and Anderson, having left the club, gone back home. It's another chance for the Ice. Pass looking there for Chris Wong, couldn't find him. Rezic will clear for the Adrenaline, flipped up high. Bronte up against Katroska. Katroska steals the puck. The backhanded pass was a good one. Boyle, the shot was too high. May have been blocked there by Tommy Powell. But Adelaide looking dangerous there.
That was great work there by Katroska on that play, skating really hard to get into the get across the blue line, get to that puck first. I think he really saved that play for the Adrenaline. Quick score check throughout the current game on AIHL TV. 9 minutes 30 to go in the first period. Sees CBR leading the Newcastle North Stars 1-0.
The CBR Brave have clinched their spot in the playoffs, although they've unofficially clinched for quite some time. Big game for Newcastle, because the results yesterday saw the Bears jump up to 3rd place over the Dogs and Newcastle. They need the 3 points. Now Velez for the Ice. Pass out wide. I don't think that was the intended location. Now Apperson. Let's try to escape through the Melbourne Ice defence. Good away now. Powell has it. Takes the blue line. Overskated the puck left to behind and went for a toe drag, but unfortunately the puck wasn't there for the drag. Katroska from a tight angle gets a shot away. Off the shoulder of Downey. Now Graham for the Ice. He'll flip it up high. And that's hit the side netting. And in fact, that really should be a delay of game penalty. That's hit the netting. And that's going to be called that way.
That was some really good work there on that Melbourne Ice breakhand by 29 Harley Anderson for the Adrenaline. Some really good work with the stick. Really broke up that Melbourne Ice play.
So the idea from Graham was right, but the execution just flew it up high towards Castelsar, but unfortunately it wasn't pinpoint, hit the netting, and the LA Adrenaline will get the first power play of the game.
Todd Graham's had a pretty interesting season. I don't think he's been quite as prolific as he often is. You know, the big tall defenseman down the back of the ice.
Kaczynski got a shot away, was saved by Downey. It's going to be a foot race, and Crow will get there first for the Ice. Backhand pass, but no one was there. Crow's just gobbling up some penalty kill time, so he's done well in that regard. And here come the Adrenaline. Abbasson takes the blue line, will wait for support. Goes out wide. Nice setup now. Kaczynski couldn't finish it off, couldn't get a clean shot away.
That was one of the strangest attacking setup I think I've ever seen.
So Kaczynski along the half wall. It's back to Boyle on the wrong side of the blue line, and the Adrenaline have to set up again. Everyone will get back on side.
Really trying to go rink wide with these passes, and I'm not sure with Melbourne Ice creating that much traffic at the blue line whether that's going to be particularly effective here. It's just a recipe for being picked off.
Harley Anderson lost an edge, and the Ice rubber being out through Powell. Powell will just cycle back. All about gobbling up PK time. The Bronte flip that high into the corner. Abbasson will treat it for the Ice. And the pass being chopped off by Wong. Momentum took over the blue line. He'll dump that one in the corner himself. So far hasn't been a great power play so far for the Adrenaline. Abbasson just corralled there by Bronte. Pass finds Rezic. Boyle fire, shoots well wide of the target. Now Boyle, kicked away from him by Delsar. That's out wide. Finds Wong, that's Marcus Wong. Goes to the centre lane, looking for the trailer, and Delsar couldn't get there in time. The Bronte, back to Delsar, looking for the top of the crease. At Graham, win it back. To get it back out towards Delsar, he does.
Look at that, you've got Melbourne Ice just cycling guys right through, just to the top of the blue paint there. Just threw in waves and waves and waves. I think you really got to start shutting those guys out, making sure that crease is clear.
They start throwing the weight around a little bit. The Carpenter, and that is offside. Fleming was just offside.
And we've got Ben Williams on Twitter. Love having some hockey during the summer. I tell you what, it does not feel like summer down in this commentary box.
No, it does not. It's a lovely day in Melbourne, apart from the fact it's blowing a gale.
Yes.
I think my car nearly ended up in your area of the world.
Well, you're the only one, because I don't know exactly what area of the world I ended up in this morning.
So face-off, it's won by the Adrenaline. In by Boyle. And Corbett. Stretch pass, it's a good one actually. Fleming finds Crow. Crow gets a shot away, could have gone for the pass, decided against it.
Great positioning by Anderson.
Now Webster. Out towards Fleming. Nice little soccer move. The Corbett to Crow. Trying to get back out towards Corbett. Now he's back to the play. So Fleming to Corbett. Carpenter for the ice. Towards Webster. Finds Crow. Stretch pass by Webster looking for Fleming, having to glide that one in the corner. Corbett should get there first for the ice. Tied up by Stringer. And that's an awkward bounce just for Anderson. Puck spills free. Melbourne fans finding their voice. Bronte with backhander. Cleared away by Rezic. Here we go back. Retrieve the puck. Melbourne will make a line change. Pass finds Powell. To Wong. That's Mark's point to Chris Wong. Here's a chance for the ice. And Powell just couldn't get the shot away. Beautiful setup though by Velez.
That was some really fantastic work through there. I think, if anything, the puck arrived just a little bit earlier than Powell was anticipating.
This is some of the play that Melbourne Ice just have not been doing this year. Proof that it's still there is getting their first big Petroska for the Adrenaline. Thought about the wraparound just on the buzzer. But Downey had that one covered, so at the end of the first period, it's the home side, the Melbourne Ice, will lead the Adrenaline 2-0.
I tell you, the Melbourne Ice fans would probably be a little bit happy to have seen some of this playback. It's probably a Melbourne Ice that they're a little bit more familiar with. I think it's fair to say. But even so, the Adrenaline, they're not skating with heads down. They're not despondent. I'm watching them in the bench now. They're chatting. They're having a good time, enjoying each other's company. I think it's quite positive for them.
So to wrap things up at the end of the first period, it's the Melbourne Ice who lead the Adelaide Adrenaline at 2-0. We'll be back shortly for the second period of play. still in favour of the Melbourne Eyes at the O'Brien Group Arena in this clash of the bottom two sides in the AIHL table. Melbourne Eyes looking pretty good, particularly when their stretch passes in their targets, something Adelaide are really going to have to work on in their second period and how they're going to defend that. Yeah,
absolutely right, Cloughie. Watching yesterday, the Mustangs didn't really take much advantage of that particular weakness in the Adrenaline's play. So, as a result, got the result that we got. Lemley following. Number 7 foal from Adrenaline has definitely improved.
He's had a good weekend.
He really has. I thought he was great yesterday. And just to remind you, you can catch yesterday's AIHL Game of the Week on Thursday on Fox Sports. That would be this Thursday. Yeah,
rare occasion you hear Steve on commentary for this year.
That's right. Steve's a bit shorter than me, but he certainly knows how to commentate a darn sight better.
So moments away from the opening face-off of the second period. It's won by the Ice, the home side, the team in blue. Pass finds Fleming, looking towards Corbett. Yeah, that's one guy who's had a real stellar year this year.
Oh, yeah, I think Corbett has actually been one of the success stories for the Ice this year.
Had a great chance there for the Adrenaline, but Downey makes the save.
Pretty good hit there by Carpenter too. Great to see him back out on the ice.
Now Boyle, adds a foul. We just mentioned earlier, he's had a good weekend so far. Goes out wide to Corey Stringer, who was good yesterday as well against his former team.
And just a score update from Newcastle. First intermission sees the CBR Brave lead 2-1 over the North Stars.
So Stringer gets the puck first, but turns it almost straight over to Fleming. Fleming out towards Crow. Now Chris Wong for the Ice. Back to the point. Webster fires, shoots. Again looking for the tip. So Wong decides to go for the shot himself. Melbourne Eyes crowding Anderson's crease at the moment.
Really good clear there by Fold.
So Wong with the stretch pass out towards Powell. Managed to stay on side, got a shot away. Now Velez. Had a poke checked away from him. Kept in by Bronte, who took it out. And the Ice want to get themselves back on side. So Rezic waiting for the trailers. Pass out wide. This is a nice setup.
Geez, the Adrenaline really unlucky there not to be rewarded. That was a fantastic setup. Really good timing, really good positioning.
So Wong, the tip there by Powers, just a little high.
We're seeing a lot of these exact type of plays here of late man coming through and just dumping it straight in front of the goaltender and hoping for the best. I mean, it's been paying off a little bit more often today, I guess, for the Melbourne Ice than it has for the rest of the season. But
well, we've touched on Sebastian Anderson, the amount of work he often does. He's facing an average of 44 shots per game this season, which probably shows how good he has been.
Well, there was 12 on him for the first period.
Yeah, 12 shots to 5 in the opening period. Now Kratoska. And Adelaide clear. Benson. He'll just flip that one in the corner. It's going to be a foot race. And Adelaide winning out now through Aberson, but Kachia's there for the Ice. Bumped off the puck by McGuinness. Lead by Dalsar. Adelaide, all they could do is just dump it in. Get themselves back on side. Great work there for the Adrenaline. The pass has been the play's been broken up in the end with that pass. And the Ice clear out towards Dalsar. Drive towards it. Shoots, scores! Kes Dalsar. He puts the Melbourne Ice 3-0 in front.
Well, there's a man, Kes Dalsar, that you don't necessarily see up amongst the scoring like that very often. But just have a look at this. Straight into the zone. Comes right around Holland. And that's just fantastic patience there on his part to be able to put it over Anderson's shoulder. Don't think there's too much more that Anderson could have done. 2 Adrenaline players in front of him probably had a responsibility to be able to kill that one off before it got anywhere near him.
I still reckon Holland could have done a bit more. Another one for the Ice! 2 in about 10 seconds. Devon Crow scores, and it's starting to get ugly for the Adrenaline.
Crow, Devon Crow. How about that? Now, that is...
You've been working that line all season, haven't you?
Oh, mate, I tell you what, when you contribute as little to the broadcast as I do, you've got to take it where you can get them. But have a look at that. That is such a quick setup there from Melbourne Ice. Straight into the zone. Crow hanging back. Watch the vision here. Straight through the middle of 4 players. Everyone's puck watching. And Crow just whips it straight past Anderson there. That'd be the type of thing that you would imagine the Adrenaline bench is not very pleased to be watching.
And it looks like we'll have a timeout called, and that would be called by the Adrenaline. But just for stats upkeep for both Delsar and Crow, that's their 5th goals of the season, 9 points for the season.
Just trying to get an idea here of what we're exactly doing during this timeout. Don't get me wrong, I think it's probably a pretty smart move to make at this point.
Now, this is Jeremy Froderick has had his mask on all day in the game so far. So I think he's pretty keen to get out there. He's dropping hints to the coach. Coach, I'm ready.
On the other hand, I've got on the Melbourne Ice bench, it's all laughs, it's all jokes, exactly what you would expect to be going on. They're over here hanging out with the linesmen, having a good laugh with them. Sandy Gardner doesn't look like he's got a care in the world right now.
But it's about a feeling, and they're feeling good, so not much. And I would say for Jim Furuchak for the Adelaide Adrenaline, it's about 2 goals very quickly. It's all about really just killing momentum for the Melbourne Ice. Just take a breather.
Oh, look, the Adrenaline have been in this type of position before this season. It's, you know, for them, this is not something that I think is going to be, you know, the end of the world for them. They're a plucky team, actually, the Adrenaline, especially with such young talent. I don't think that this type of thing really phases them. I think they're out there to be able to fight this through to the end.
So Corbett gets shot. In fact, he goes for the pass out wide. It was a good one out to Fleming, but he couldn't trap it. Now Webster got himself in a medical position. Chance out for Leeming on the breakaway. Up against Downey, and Downey makes the save.
Geez, that's some fantastic work there by Downey. Just tracked him the entire way in. Carpenter, not a bad move there to not get called for the hook. I thought that was pretty good work out of him.
Carpenter just put a bit of pressure on as well, made it a little bit more difficult. Now Crow cuts in. Lost the puck. Battle along the half wall. Chris Wong out towards Crow. For mine has played easily his best game in Melbourne Ice colours. And Crow will get it back, has time and space, and scores! Crow gets his second, and Melbourne Ice lead 5-0, and it's starting to get very ugly.
Well, I think Anderson has said that he's had enough of that type of thing. I think he is just about done for the day. And to be honest, I don't blame him. He's not getting a heck of a lot of help up there. To be fair, though, I mean, the Adrenaline, this is their second game in as many days. Melbourne Ice have had plenty of time to be able to sit here and rest and wait for this one. So this was always going to be a really, really hard task for the Adrenaline. And plays like that, well, look, what are you going to do as a goaltender?
So Jeremy Froderick in net now for the Adelaide Adrenaline. So we're going to see 2 of the young, real hot prospects in Australian ice hockey, not just in goaltending. Downey v Frederick, and I'm really looking forward to seeing this one for the remainder of the game. So Kuchoska now for the Adrenaline. Tied up along the blue line, and it's offside.
So I think Frederick in net for the Adrenaline has had, what, 13 minutes so far this season in Perth?
Yeah, he hasn't had too many.
Right.
And of course, Sebastian Anderson just hates playing Melbourne Ice in this venue. You may recall first game of the season, he conceded 5 in the opening period.
Yeah, it's probably one that he'd rather forget. But certainly 13 minutes in Perth for Friedrich, and he faced 12 shots, allowing 1.
To Powell. But we saw him here at O'Brien Group Arena in the pre-season tournament, where he actually was the player of the tournament. And that got a lot of fans really salivating about this. What is he, 16 years old, I think he is.
Yeah, it's a really fantastic talent in such a young man, and I think that's a testament to the type of work that they're doing here in Adelaide. As I see 37, Caleb Apperson heading off to the Adelaide bench. Sorry, to the Adelaide penalty box. Tell you what, sometimes the old Melbourne Ice penalty box looks like the Melbourne Ice bench if you pick the wrong day, doesn't it?
particularly when you still had both the Hughes brothers in the team together, Adelaide and Webster, and it was chaos. So Crow now for the ice to Webster. Has time and space and it's chopped down, and
that was better out of the adrenaline. They made sure that Webster didn't have a heck of a lot of time to be able to think about that one.
And Frederick made the save, and I just had to think for a second. Did well, actually. That was a good glove save.
But Stapleton was all over Webster. Lots of movement. Look at him straight dead in the eyes, telling him, you take one more second than is necessary and I'm going to clean you up, son.
So Webster now for the ice. Out towards Corbett. Corbett out towards Webster. Goes out wide. Carpenter gets a shot away. Friedrich makes the save and then is forced to glove it. He's nearly coughed up a rebound there. But a big challenge for the Adrenaline penalty kill, which started off very slowly last night's game against the Mustangs. I think they conceded 2 power play goals when they were just being a little too passive on the penalty kill. But they got better as they got along.
Look, to tell you the truth, I think we got a very different game to what we expected last night too. Very exciting by the end of it. I mean, for the crowd to be so quiet for the vast majority of the day, and then in the last minute, anyone would think they were playing a grand final in this place.
So now Velez gets a pass from Graham to Chris Wong. Tries to cut in the middle lane, pass out wide towards Graham. Graham will wait for the trailers, cycles in the corner. Decides he's going to keep the puck for himself, go back to his usual position, and it's nearly glided in there by Velez off his skate. So Powell. Now Velez happy to play that one off the boards to Graham. Bronte out wide towards Powell. So Wong, he was tied up. Tied up by Boyle. Adelaide are able to clear now through Best. So decides to flip that one up into the corner. Leaning up against Bronte. Graham there support. Holland. Trying to get it towards Best. Holland gets it back, gets a shot away, and down he makes a relatively easy save in the end.
Pretty good play there by Leeming, I thought. See, maybe we'll get this here on the replay, but then again, knowing the talent that I've left in the control room, maybe not. It's hard work being the boss, Cluffy.
I know. That's why I'm happy. That's why I'm happy just to be the lemming.
Oh, mate. I tell you, he says all the talent in the world. It's just a shame he didn't bring it with him.
So Delsar now. That could have been offside for mine, but play continues on. Delsar. Flew back. Adelaide did kill the penalty in the end. Delsar again out wide towards Hoddick. Great shot and a great save.
Not a bad talent, that Hoddick. That was a really fantastic shot there.
It's been good this year. Had it last year off. But he's certainly got stronger as the season's gone on. Delsar and Hoddick is sharing amongst themselves. Hoddick gets it back, gets another shot away, another save.
I don't think you can allow a man to pick up his own rebound like that, just keep hammering away.
Yeah. A little bit pee-wee, wasn't it?
That's not fantastic.
And now the eye's clear. So Hoddick and Delsar coming through as Apperson.
I don't think Apperson wanted too much to do with Delsar just there.
Well, it hasn't been a particularly physical game, and that's probably where both sides are sitting at the moment. They're playing for pride more than anything else, so there's no finals, there's no cups on the line, and you're probably seeing that neither side wants to be overly physical in this one. Yeah,
no, I tell you the truth, I don't blame him, particularly this late in the year. You know, nobody wants to be carrying an injury into summer.
And especially, for imports especially, there's a shot there, and Roderick makes the save. Another chance for Crow looking for his hat-trick. But, probably for the imports, when there's no titles on the line, they want to make sure, even if they're playing out the season, that they remain fit for their Northern Hemisphere commitments.
Well, and, I wouldn't necessarily say it's unusual to find an import playing out the season. Just perhaps this year's been a little bit of an exception as well.
Well, Melbourne Ice players usually do because there's a championship on the line.
Well, that's right.
Sydney Bears imports often don't last at this stage of the season. At least one of them goes home.
Speaking of which, as I understand it, they had a very, very exciting game over in Perth last night.
One in the shootout as well, moved themselves up to 3rd place.
Pretty physical, bit of niggle going on there, and yeah, apparently it was a real barn there.
So now it's Boyle for the Adrenaline. He decides to flip it up high. Bit of a knuckleball for Downey, who has that one covered. Yeah, but just touch on the Bears. I'm actually looking forward to seeing them make the finals this year. They're in a prime position to do it.
Oh, I can tell you, don't put the mods on them too early there, Cluffy. There's an awful lot of Bears fans that I've spoken to this week.
I'm still worried.
Oh, mate, they're saying they're just playing with us. I can tell they're just playing with us.
Yeah, well,
because the
they're used to
Bears,
that.
well, the Bears have just had this weird history where, they've played pretty well to sort of the midway point of the season, and then after that, sort of have just fallen off a cliff. And we're starting to wear a little bit thin in the fan base, I can tell you.
So played off the stick by Downey. Benson now sends it into the corner. Les clears. Over the stick there of Holland. Chance for Powell. Powell driving towards it. Get a shot away. Rebound of it and scores! So Powell gets his 2nd. Melbourne Ice get their 6th. And they'll have the 3 points, I think, all wrapped up.
How about that work there from Tommy Powell? That was fantastic. Picks up his own rebound and just goes again. And, that's the thing. You're going to let guys just pick up their own rebound and keep going.
But you see on replay here, it's this defenseman here. Appleson is he's too busy pointing at people for positioning. Really probably needed to work a bit harder to force Powell out wider.
Oh, absolutely. I don't think that he was given a hell of a lot of help to French.
No, absolutely not. So Appleson for the Adrenaline. Now Downey will leave it for Graham. Always interesting to see when your assistant coach is getting an assist.
Yeah. A quick score update from Newcastle. 9 minutes to go in the second. CBR Braves still 2-1 over the Blue Stars.
So Powell, score of the last goal. Just brought out some party tricks, but unfortunately couldn't get out towards Graham. Now Aussie Joe Resnick looking for Katroska. Intercepted there by Graham. Gachia. Delsar. Now Ellis Katroska for the Adrenaline. Tried to cut the middle lane, tried to work his way through. Then he was wiped out. Still kept his feet, and it's offside, so it's in there. It's worked out well by Sam Hoddick.
Jeez, he wouldn't be denied, though. Katroska just still going. He's like a freight train. I tell you what. Tweet here from Kristen, actually. Not sure why that one's full of question marks, but good things happen when you follow your rebounds. Well, it's pretty topical, given I'm sitting in the great man's seat, as Jaffa always says. Good things happen when you shoot.
So now it's Webster for the Ice.
Wonder if he managed to get that hat into Borneo. I would have thought Customs would seize that as objectionable material, wouldn't you?
I don't think so. What do you reckon? Barb has just thrown it away in the jungle somewhere?
I tell you what, Barb's a very smart lady, and there is not a chance that Barb would have bought a hat like that for Jaff. That one has got to be a Jaff special. I assume he bought it at a petrol station or something.
But face-off now, attacking zone for the Adrenaline. But it's Ice who are going to win the face-off with the Adelaide. Get it back through Steve Best. What a chance, and they've muffed it. So Boyle. Good save there by Downey. And the Ice are able to clear now through Carpenter. Goes out wide to Delsar. Stay there by Frederick. Clark just gloves that one down. To the point, Delsar into the corner, Sam Hoddick. So Hoddick just trying to weave his way through. Still has possession of the puck, trying to get to Delsar. Takes a tumble, and it's going to be a call against Best for a trip. But I have a feeling that Delsar put a bit of mayo on that one as well.
Tell you what, it's got to score at least an 8.5 from the Swedish judges for the tumble on that one there, Delsar.
Swedish judge there will have to get Anders the score of this one once he sees the replay.
Well, just watching that last rush here, watching us, we'll just have a quick look.
There was a trip with air, but gee, there was some mayo put on that one.
Mate, he's definitely got the rocket skates on there, I think. But watching that last rush from Melbourne Ice and watching Stringer skating back. I was just worried with his positioning. He did not look like he actually wanted to get involved in stopping that play.
So the ice on the power play as Fleming has it now. Waiting for Trailers to go out wide towards Crow, looking for a hat trick tonight.
Hopefully not one of Jaffers.
So Carpenter to Webster, has plenty of time and space to play with, decides to go for the pass. Now Crow. Corbett. Just got, I think, on the toe of the blade, that shot. So the Ice have it through Fleming. Corbett. Pass to the top of the crease. Corbett gets it back. To Carpenter. Webster. Shot was high. Carpenter again along the half wall. Out towards Corbett. Left it behind. Still swimming, and that one was Fleming. Again, another pass to the top of the crease. Webster has it.
Good work there by Holland, shoving Crow out of the crease there. That's
which is what they've got to do.
Move.
So Downey, both sides take the opportunity to make line changes. To Powell. Is that for Chris Wong? I don't think he was expecting it.
Been pretty impressed with Friedrich and Nat so far, actually, especially for a young man. I think he's been doing quite a good job. Pretty unenviable task coming in.
Absolutely. Here's a chance for Kotroska for the Adrenaline. Shoots, scores. They score short-handed as Melbourne Ice break down, and the two youngsters just look at each other and shaking their heads.
Well, that's Kotroska again. I mean, look at that, Downey. He just about cannot believe that one. Doesn't know how that was allowed to get through, but really fantastic work there. I mean, look at that. Just takes perfect advantage of a missed pass. Straight through, low on the left, and not much Downey's going to be able to do to stop that one in the end.
Yeah, the pass from Aussie Joe wasn't pinpoint, but he picked up. In the end, Melbourne Ice couldn't trap it and spilled free, and Kotroska's eyes lit up. Now leaning for the Adrenaline. Tight angle shot, rebound off it, but the Ice should be able to clear.
Gee, the Adrenaline are skating with a bit more of a purpose now.
They just needed that break, didn't they?
Absolutely.
So Wong, that's Chris Wong, to Velez. Back out towards Wong. Now it is back to 5-on-5. So Chris Wong just tried a backhanded pass, a no-look pass, and they've turned it over to Corey Stringer. To Best.
Geez, they've had no luck with shots from the point there, the Adrenaline. I think they've fanned on just about every single one of them so far.
And Velez for the Ice. It's out towards Graham. Now Boyle, but getting there first for the Ice was Hoddick. The Stringer. It's out towards Boyle. Good forechecking there by the Ice. Clark has it, will go out wide, looking there for Hoddick. He gets it in the end. Pass looking for Clark, couldn't find him. To the top of the crease, and it's a goal of the Melbourne Ice. They've got another one, and I think it's actually Delsar who got it in from the tight angle, may have hit the Frederick on the way through.
I have a feeling that was Rob Clark there.
May have got the tip,
Cluffy.
but certainly they're looking in the direction of Castelso, who set that one up.
But look at this. I mean, the Adrenaline, they're just far too far out there. They're not protecting Melbourne Ice, who know just to keep pushing guys straight through in front of Friedrich. This is just a tactic that these guys are going to use all day, and there's got to be an adjustment made.
Yeah, so Clark got the tip in. That is his third goal for the season. 6 points as well, so he's had a bit of a career year, Rob Clark, been the fringe players in the Melbourne Ice over the journey, but is really cementing his spot in the side. The Ice win the face-off. So Clark, the goal scorer. Kotroska just trying to go out wide. Now Adelaide have it through Aussie Joe. Pass looking for Kotroska. Couldn't get a shot away. Here's a chance now for the Ice in the counter. Hoddick Drive towards it. Shot, though, was wide.
Probably needed to put that one onto Delsar there, Hoddick.
I think he looked like he was a little bit in two minds, shot or pass. They got something in the middle.
Quick score update from Newcastle. 3 minutes to go in the second. It's the CBR Brave 4, Newcastle North Stars 1.
That's going to be a bad result of that stance for the North Stars. Currently find themselves outside of the top 4.
Oh, dear.
Great chance for Anderson, but couldn't connect. And Adelaide at times just can't take a trick at the moment.
I would have to say, I mean, realistically, these are probably a couple of the most unlucky sides in the competition this year.
And that's it for the second period. Well, one that has been completely and utterly dominated by the Melbourne Ice, bar a short moment short-handed for the Adrenaline.
Oh, look, I mean, I hate to lavish too much praise on the Melbourne Ice here today, really. I mean, but at the same time, they have been a much better team than I've seen them be all season, so they probably deserve some of the praise.
Absolutely. They're playing a style of hockey that we haven't seen all year. They're getting the results.
And, I mean, realistically, we talk about them like they've been hopeless all year. I don't think that's necessarily the case. I mean, they haven't been losing most games by a lot. I mean, there's an awful lot of shootout losses in there and things like that.
Lost 2 games in the final 10 seconds in regulation.
Yeah, missed opportunities. I mean, you know what they say, good teams will find ways to win, and the rest can please themselves. So, look, I mean, as far as the Adrenaline's concerned, well, look, the season is what it is, but I think the whole music for the Adrenaline's coming away pretty soon, and these guys are going to be a real force to be reckoned with in the AIHL.
Absolutely, but they've got a big task ahead of them if they need to stem the bleeding in this one. At the end of 2 periods, it's the Melbourne Ice who lead the Adelaide Adrenaline 7-1. We're back shortly with the third period of play. So 7-1 is the lead for the Melbourne Eyes over the Adelaide Adrenaline heading into the third period in this match between 7th and 8th on the ladder. So in terms of finals, little consequence. But here we go. First tweet. Best commentator in the AIHL this season so far.
Well, mate, I just have to... what can I say? I mean, Steve, Jeff, if you guys are listening,
you're sacked.
You know, tough luck, boys.
So Melbourne Eyes win the opening face-off of the third period to Corbett. Webster gets a shot away, and that's hit the back netting. And I think between the two of us actually getting back into the commentary box, most exercise we've done for a while.
Well, I'll tell you what, mate, that was certainly a close run thing. That intermission certainly got away pretty quick, didn't it?
So face-off. And it's going to be won by the Adrenaline because, yeah, we had both teams bet they're coming on the ice and we're still at the upstairs control room.
Oh, look, realistically, that's just making sure that young Zielinski doesn't break anything. Steal the light bulbs or something.
And that puck's gone into the Melbourne Ice bench. But important for Adelaide, even though they're trailing, to finish this game off strongly.
Well, it'll be interesting to see who the Melbourne Ice are going to be running for this third period because, you know, they've got a lot of young guys. It'd be really great to see the young guys get a bit more ice time in this third period when the game
is absolutely
probably beyond a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely. You got Pacino, Bonolo in the side today. I think you've got to give them plenty of ice time because, like I said, as a result, the game is one bar a complete calamity. Now, Crow.
Not that Melbourne Ice have had any sort of track record of those.
Yeah, but I think even by Melbourne Ice stands this season, I think 6-goal lead is a pretty comfortable one.
Okay, there you go.
So
folks.
Boyle.
You heard it here first. Michael Clough says this one's a done deal.
You got to replay that if it goes all horribly wrong, aren't you?
Mate, I'll be nailing it to the front door, I can tell you.
So now Fleming for the ice. Pass out wide. Frederick makes the save as Crow was looking for his personal hat trick, so I reckon him and Tommy Powell.
I can tell you.
Reckon him and Tommy Powell see plenty of ice time to see if they can get a personal hat trick.
So who have we got out for the ice at the moment? Marcus Wong, Chris Wong, Tommy Powell.
So face off, won by the Adrenaline. Flipped up high is going to be a foot race. Bronte ahead of McGuinness. Powell happy to move that one along now. Apperson looking his options, had to make sure everyone was back on side, and then we'll take it over the blue line himself.
Oh, tell you what, great work by Best. Just about doing the splits on the blue line.
Just to stay onside. Shot there by Holland has been blocked. It's flipped up high, and it's going to be a foot race. And Adelaide will win that, so it'll be an icing call.
So, Cluffy, I guess our thoughts now turn towards that first weekend in September, the finals. I mean, we still don't quite know which four it's going to be. I mean, beyond a doubt that it's going to be the Brave.
Well, Brave have clinched. No other side has. And I think any of those, either the Perth Thunder, the Dogs, the Bears, North Stars, none of them are guaranteed. Any of those teams could still fall out, regardless of positions on the ladder.
Do you see any of them being able to beat the Brave when it matters?
Well, I've been thinking along the line the Sydney Ice Dogs a chance, but they're falling a bit of a hole in the wrong part of the season.
Yeah, the Ice Dogs, haven't they just been a funny story over the last few years too? I mean, you know, this was a club that many were, you know, a couple of years ago questioning whether it was going to live on. And not only have they lived on, but, you know, they look like a proper contender this year. It's a real credit to the people that have been involved in the club in recent times to, you know, really, I guess, bootstrap a side that, you know, was depleted on talent, both on and off the ice, to now turn it into, you know, something that really is quite formidable.
Yeah, beyond that, I think I just don't see Newcastle being a threat this year if they make it. I'm not seeing enough of them to say they're a championship side.
Yeah,
Perth
Newcastle can be pretty up and down, I think it's fair to say. I mean, second intermission in their game, the Brave 5-2 over the North Stars right now.
And Perth seem to be much better across the line. They haven't relied on goaltending as much as DeSalvo hasn't had as good a year this year as last year, and they're still second on the ladder. So this is what they've got going on as well. As a shot there was just wide, but Adelaide keep it in now through Kotoska. Fires on net, pad saved by Downey. Eyes haven't been able to clear. Graham now. Great work there by Alice Katroska. Nearly steals the puck.
Move their feet here.
Now Clark already has one goal tonight. Well, looking for his second. And the adrenaline clear now. Steve Best gets a shot away. Downey with the save. High. That one went high.
An awful lot of time in the air.
It was a hand pass, and then McGuinness nearly got wiped out for good measure. But yeah, on your earlier point, the Bears, I think, are an interesting case because they play a good two-way game now. They've gone from a team that was very, very defensive, and now got a bit of offensive might to them. Goaltender's already shown himself in was it 2013 with the Sydney Ice Dogs.
Yeah, absolutely.
Won them a championship. So,
and at the start of this year, a lot of people were questioning whether the Bears were going to be competitive.
I think most of us had them last and second last.
Yeah, absolutely right. And boy, how things changed in a couple of months. I think if this season, though, has taught me one thing, and that is that any team is beatable on any day in this league at the moment. I mean, as good as the CBR Brave are, and they are very good, you know, all it takes is just one bad day, and you hope and you pray and you make preparations to make sure that one day that it doesn't happen to me in September, but you just can't control that type
and
of
the
stuff.
pressure's on the CBR Brave. Might sound harsh, but it's theirs to lose. Anything other than the cup is a season wasted. Melbourne Ice 2016, for example.
They've been so close for a while. They've really been on the cusp, and it could have been their year any year. But look, I think it's going to be a very, very difficult task for any team to put one over the Brave.
So Carpenter now for the Ice, gets out towards Crow. Crow will just concede some territory. Finds Carpenter. Send that one into the corner. Disabled and Crow. Crow with the body work. Now Webster. Little tip there by Pansino, and it nearly went in. To one of the youngsters we were talking about earlier that we would like to see get a bit of ice time tonight, and that's going to be an icing call against the Adrenaline.
Would have been fantastic to be able to see Pansino actually make it onto the score sheet there with a goal next to his name, but wasn't to be.
Well, he's already got one assist for the season.
Just had that one off the top of your head there, Cluffy. Good recall, mate.
Yeah. I remember that. I remember that assist well. So from the face-off, battle along the half wall. Ice keep it in through Marcus Wong, but Adelaide are able to clear. Harley Anderson lost the puck. Now Chris Wong. Drop pass. Shot comes in. Pad save.
He looks comfortable in net, Friedrich.
That he does. Nolo now gets it out towards Powell. Chris Wong to his brother Marcus. Marcus in the general direction of Chris, who had actually gone the wrong way. Chris Wong will get it back. He'll go out towards Powell. He's still in the corner. Tied up by Boyle. Now Powell at the blue line. And it's going to be
crease violation.
Yeah, crease violation there. That ends any hope of Melbourne Ice heading to the score.
Hey, that was really good defensive work there by Boyle. Quite impressive. He just tracked Tommy Powell the entire way around that, particularly with the season that Tommy Powell's had. He's a smart player to want to shut down, and Boyle just had him, like dagger eyes the entire way around.
So now leaving for the Adrenaline from the face-off. He'll get a shot away, and Downey makes short work of that. And this is James Downey's last game for the Melbourne Ice for the season. He's heading back to North America, and he's been quite impressive. Certainly, I think he's added to his reputation this year.
Absolutely, and the local crowd certainly got behind him in his brief time down here. I remember at one point watching him being cheered off the ice, Downey, Downey, Downey.
Yeah, the Sydney Bears game, the Canada Day Classic, where he got the Downey chant.
Yeah, no, and I thought it was really fantastic. And boy, was he happy in the interview afterwards. He just looked like a kid that was really enjoying his hockey.
Every time you see him, he looks like a kid's enjoying his hockey. And hopefully we'll see more of him in the AIHL in coming seasons as well. Now, Holland for the Adrenaline.
Good defensive work there by Apperson.
Leeming, waiting for support. Going to get out towards Best. And Delsar now. Goes with the stretch pass. And that's going to be called icing as it hit Clark's stick on the wrong side of the red line.
So tell me, Cluffy, you're a fairly well-travelled man.
What, from Montmorency to the rink?
Well, I guess what rinks have you seen around the AIHL? Have you made the trip out to Adelaide before?
Not Adelaide, no.
Okay, well, I was there a couple of years ago, and look, I mean, it's as much as Adelaide are very much looking forward to having a new rink, which would be really great for the local hockey culture. If you haven't been to an adrenaline game, I really would recommend going along to one. It's pretty cool. Got a great location just outside the city, so you know if you're travelling into town, you know, flying in or something like that, you can pick up some pretty reasonably priced accommodation in the city. Just jump straight onto the tram to take you on a 2-minute ride over to the rink. Sit in the seat there with a nice cold drink. You got the friendly volunteers behind the bar, and it's pretty, you know, it's quaint. It's, you know, it's certainly a smaller arena, and you know, it doesn't have all the, you know, the mod cons that we're used to here in Melbourne. We're very lucky to have, but certainly a nice place to watch your hockey. So I'd recommend taking a trip over there, and they get good crowds there too. Really good crowds.
And that bid presented to you by the SA Tourist fan.
That's right.
There's a chance out for Crow on the hat trick. Shot though was wide.
Well, and I would call upon anybody, if you're an AIHL fan and you haven't managed to get to a game outside your home rink, do it. It's one of the most cool things you'll ever do.
And well, that was too easy in the end by Scott Corbett, running rings around the Adelaide defence, and he can't believe it. He's as happy as Larry. The Melbourne Ice lead 8-1.
Scott Corbett wasn't going to be denied there, was he? He just kept coming and kept coming and kept coming. And poor old Frederick's son saying, would someone just hit this bloke? Please, have a look at this.
Yeah, well,
one attempt, 2, 3, you know, just kept coming and coming and coming. And just when Frederick thought that he was gone, it's in the net behind him.
Yeah, one man was skating and the Adelaide defence was stationary. Leeming with the hit. Well, about the first hit we've seen tonight. I should point out, you know, in relation to the consequence of the season, not much online. Shot there by Aberson, so you're probably seeing less physicality and more just general hockey skill in this one. So the eye's clear, but only as far as Aberson happy to play that one off the boards. Here comes Best for the Adrenaline. He did score last night, but has been denied in this opportunity there by Webster. So foul. So Apperson to Best. Now Carpenter out towards Crow. Crow gets another chance, gets out towards Fleming. Fleming puts on the afterburners, drives towards the net. Handy little poke check though by Apperson. Breaks the play up. Fleming still has it though for the ice. Bumped off the puck. Good work there by Caleb Apperson.
Jeez, he's everywhere, Caleb Apperson, isn't he? He's just about on every play. I'm starting to wonder if the poor bloke's left the ice this period.
Or if he's been cloned.
Yeah.
So now Crow for the ice. It's a nice setup shot. And Frederick makes the save. Yes, he has.
Well, and don't forget, September 1st and 2nd, it's going to be the 2018 AIHL Final Series, hosted right here at O'Brien Group Arena in Melbourne. Tickets on sale now at aihl.net/2018 AIHL Finals, where you can pick up your 3-game and single-game passes.
Gee, you did a better job of that than the bloke who usually does it for the Foxdale games.
I got more hair, although I'm working on it.
So now Bronte. Pass out towards Chris Wong. Made a good return from a long injury layoff. Wong cycling in the corner. The Powell. Looking for Wong. And good work by Harley Anderson. They'll have to retrieve the puck again. Happy to play that on the board, and they're able to clear to Jake Riley. Now for the Adrenaline. Shot was wide, but Downey was happy to glove that one. And we'll have a face-off.
Listen to this Melbourne Ice crowd urging on the players. I tell you, it's probably the loudest I've heard the Melbourne Ice crowd this year. To listen to them, you wouldn't think that they're 8-1 up. What are they looking for? 18?
Well, you sing when you're winning.
Oh, mate. Jesus, out for blood. Oh, dear.
Now Pansino for the ice, clears. Good work there by Boyle for the Adrenaline. He'll fire, shoot. That was a little wide. Well, we'll get it back. McGuinness just overskating that one. Now Christian Pansino. Pass misses target. Resic. Downey will leave that. Nathan Kachia. Easily the best of the rookies for Melbourne Ice this year.
That's going to be icing.
That will be. But Nathan Kachia, he's shown a lot this season. I really do see him being a long-term proposition for the Melbourne Ice ongoing, which is something you got to look at when you have a season like the Melbourne Ice had, is where's the future?
Yeah, you're exactly right. Well, I think it's going to be a very busy off-season for the Melbourne Ice, which I understand it probably wasn't all that busy this off-season, going by some accounts.
Well, we had the interview with Annie Lamrock, who did say there was a little bit of a title hangover.
Yes, I think that interview's still going.
So Kratroska for the Adrenaline. He's done well. Gets it out towards Resic, gets a shot away. Now Kachia looking towards Pansino. Also has Clark. Clark happy to send that one into the corner. Dalsar in front position, but good work by Apperson in the end. Wins the puck and skates it out of the zone. And a little poke check by Graham. Here come the ice again. Pansino, pass intercepted. Truska tried to work his way through. Despite the results, he's been good tonight for Adelaide. He's forced out wide. And Danny from the shot by Resic makes the save. We'll have another face-off.
It's just back onto the travelling to AIHL games, Cluffy. So, I mean, I certainly remember infamously a trip up to the Lake Gold Coast rink.
Yeah, we were there for the last ever game played there.
That's, well, half game, I believe.
That was a third of a game, actually. It was just one period.
Those not aware, the game was called off at the first intermission after...
Basically, the ice was melting.
Well, yeah, after the place just sort of came to bits, unfortunately. So it was raining through the roof onto the ice. There was bits of ice that were missing, and I believe one of the players got a stick stuck inside the boards as he skated around behind the net.
Yeah.
And then the fog of war rolled in, and you couldn't see from blue line to the goal crease.
Well, it wasn't at my missus. It was her second ever ice hockey game, and her observation was, it doesn't feel cold.
No. Oh, I was very surprised too. Actually surprised to find that you, in fact, did have a real live missus. I'd assumed you made it up.
I make some things up.
And a lovely lady she is too. Diane, if you're listening, thank you very much.
So now it's Webster for the ice. Happy to get pass onto the boards for the rebound. Crow. Now I think the big battle is whether Crow or Powell can get a hat-trick out of tonight's game. Pass to Manolo, down to Crow. Frederick made the save.
We'll go and put the money down now, Cluffy. Which one? Powell, Crow?
Well, Crow's getting more shifts, so you'd have to say the money's on him at this stage.
Okay.
Gumbelson.
I'll double your pay, Cluffy.
I'm looking forward to that.
2 speedboats for you.
So Webster takes the blue line, had it poke checked away from him. Powell swooping on it. Now Riley. Riley gets a shot away and Downey makes the save.
Good shot there by Riley. I think he probably would have minded another second or so to be able to make up his mind where he was going to go with that. Unfortunately, Downey was just too big and in too good of a position. But gee, that wasn't bad at all. But also good work there by Chris Long to be able to cut off the angles.
Yeah, just forced a shot out of Riley well before he actually would have wanted to. As Holland shot was wide. But Benson. Now Apperson. So now Apperson. Towards Holland. Gets a shot away looking for the tip there by Harley Anderson. Apperson using his size to protect the puck. Has it now. Can he get out towards Holland? Decides against that pass, even though it was the open option. So Benson ties up Chris Wong. Brother Marcus there in support. Good working now by Harley Anderson.
Harley Anderson, the lumberjack there. I thought he, a couple more goes there with the axe and he would have been through, I think.
And that's going to be called offside. It's good work if you don't get caught.
Well,
if you don't end up in the penalty box, it's all fairs and love and war.
well, Melbourne Ice taking issue with that offside call for reasons unknown. Not exactly sure how much we're going to trust the Melbourne Ice bench on the refereeing.
So face-off won by the Adrenaline as Stringer will send that one deep. Getting there first will be Graham for the Ice, but his pass is being chopped off. Good work there by McGuinness. Resick will go back out towards Boyle at the point. Play's been broken up. Graham will flip that one up high. It's going to be a foot race. Stringer leading Powell, and that will be an icing call.
Yeah, probably well deserved there. Pretty good work actually out of Stringer too. I was watching him come through there. He clearly wasn't going to be beaten in that type of a foot race.
Of course, Corey Stringer, a recruit from the Mustangs during the off-season, and part of that young brigade of players that the Adrenaline are building up, looking to the long term. Now Aussie Joe Resick for the Adrenaline. Pass was blocked by Kachia, but Resick gets it back. Now Graham. It was a dangerous pass, but he's got away with it. He had to...
Very dangerous little feat.
Absolutely. And then Graham's pass, we're looking for Les, missed him completely. So Carpenter gets it out towards Kachia. So Krzyzewska decides to cycle back, wait for Adelaide to complete their line change, and then nearly wipes out his own teammate in Steve Best. Oh, his eyes lit up, and I think Best saw his life flash before his eyes.
I'm sure we're going to put that one down as a hit on the score sheet.
So now the Ice have it through Hoddick. Hoddick waiting for support, goes with the pass out towards Clark. It was just on the wrong side of him. And here come the Adrenaline. It's a Best pass.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Aberson just fanned on the shot.
Just not having the luck, are they, the Adrenaline?
So Delsar, he'll wait for Hoddick. Tries to get out towards Hoddick. I think it might have slipped through, has it? No, saved right on the line.
Poor old Sammy Hoddick. Would have been great to see him pick up a goal there, the young bloke. But look at that. Friedrich having a pretty good laugh and a chat there with Sam. Both of them said, well, I thought it was in. But no, it certainly wasn't. It was underneath Frederick.
Well, I think that's it. Hey.
Look at that. See,
yeah, he wasn't.
Caught up on his pad.
I think I'll cover that. Thank you very much. So now it's Hoddick again for the Eyes, out towards Delsar. And a poke checked away from him. Webster just keeps it in. Finds it. Deflected off Clark. And went wide. So Carpenter fires from distance. Now Delsar. Back to Webster at the point. Looking for Delsar, but getting there first. We Boyle for the Adrenaline. Foal looking to clear, and he does. Chance for Zach Boyle. Will take the blue line. Get out towards Best, who just lost an edge rather awkwardly. Now Clark for the Ice. Gets a shot away, and that is right in the logo of Jeremy Friedrich, and he'll make the save.
Safe as houses with Friedrich there. Score update from Newcastle. It's 14 minutes to go in the final term. CBR Brave 5 and Newcastle North Stars 2.
It looks like the CBR Brave will take the points in that one. So from the face-off, Corbett tried to take a shot from the face-off. Now Bronte waiting for everyone to get back on side, and he coughs it up out towards Holland. Holland out wide, looking towards Nathaniel Benson. Bronte's pass finds Crow out towards Fleming, and a good glove save there.
Jeez, he's been impressive.
Has helped steady the ship for the Adrenaline.
Oh, I tell you what, I mean, you know, no one wants to be looking down the barrel of that coming out onto the ice, but no, I think he's been really, really good.
So face off. The Ice have it through Crow. Bronte into the corner. Aberson overskates it, but he gets the puck back. He's lost it. Crow looking towards Fleming, but Aberson will get it back. Never flicked up high. Corbett brings it down, kept in by Bronte, but I think that's going to be called a hand pass, and it will be.
Just while I've got a minute, and I've probably got the opportunity as well, Cluffy, I just want to...
well, you are the boss, so...
Well, there you go. Just give a bit of a thank you to the crew that puts these games together for us on AIHL TV and Fox Sports. We're talking, of course, yourself, Steve White, Paul Jaffa-Watson, Jeff Coop helps us out on occasion as well. Alex Michael, David Morgan, Don Watson, Evan Cottle, Peter Frank, Hayden Simons, James Battle, Jared Webster, although overseas these days, Lisa McClellan, Martin Simons, Mitch Hines, Robert McKendrick, Shelley Morgan, Sophia Mishka, Tommy, g'day Tommy. All fantastic people, and really thank them all for helping us out.
And nice of you to leave your wife near the bottom of the list.
Alphabetical, mate. Alphabetical.
So Boyle shoots and saved there by Downey.
So that should be a pretty comprehensive list.
I think you got everyone in the crew there, haven't you?
Yeah, I don't think I missed anybody out.
Shot there by Power was just a little high.
My headset down to get the rage out of my ears.
So McGuinness. Stringer just overskated the puck. Now Powell just flips that one up. Pass being chopped off though by Apperson. He'll clear the zone. Skating onto it will be Carpenter. Now Corey Stringer. Katroska puts on the afterburners. Just got an awkward bobble off his stick. Just at the wrong moment, but he still gets it back, gets it out towards Riley, tries to get a shot away, and that's going to be a penalty.
Bit of a chop going on there, I think. But no, just wanted to make mention to those guys. I guess that, you know, we all get to see the hockey on TV, but the part that we don't see is the hours that go into to getting this to happen. And particularly thanks also to some of our friends from overseas, particularly at AT&T Sportsnet Pittsburgh. Team there have been very, very accommodating in helping us out with a lot of knowledge sharing and trying to turn this into the best product we can make for Australian hockey fans.
And that was a big slash there by Carpenter. So he'll sit 2 minutes in the penalty box, and the Adrenaline are on the power play. Their only goal so far has come short-handed. So Rezic, the tip, and it's in.
Go.
So they score on the power play to the Adelaide Adrenaline, and Caleb Apperson gets the goal, and the setup there by Joe Rezic.
That was really great work right there. Just saw the opportunity and went for it. Downey is not real happy with that one. Just having a look. Have a look at this right here. In front, just tips it straight through. It was all over before anybody even knew what was going on. Really fantastic work out of Apperson. And I still don't think the guys left the ice game, unless there's a few Apperson jerseys out there.
So that's Apperson's 5th goal for the season. But yeah, Downey just got himself a little bit out of position and got caught out on that occasion. So Holland gets out towards Leeming, but it's being chopped off there by Corbett. Leeming gets it back. So he's got Corbett now for the ice. It's out towards Fleming, looking for Crow. Just bounced off his stick. So Crow tied up. Good work by Best, but he's lost the puck. Chance for Corbett. Oh. He goes top shelf and scores.
Scott Corbett. Top shelf work out of him there. Maybe Scott Corbett's going to be the bloke that'll pick up the Hattie today.
Well, it's Corbett's 2nd goal of the period. And in fact, they're not even going to change lines.
Business as usual. These guys are already ready to drop the puck. All they're doing is just waiting for our replay director upstairs to sort his life out. Didn't get his name.
So Melbourne Ice win the face-off. Bronte out towards Crow, but that's offside. So 2 minutes left. There's 3 Melbourne Ice players now sitting on 2 goals.
Are they going to go for the Big Ten?
Yeah, chance to go to double figures.
Hey, well, I'm almost expecting a timeout to be called any minute now.
Well, that happened earlier in the season, wasn't it, with Peter Eckroth, and that did not go down well with the Adelaide Adrenaline bench.
Was not well received.
As it shouldn't have been. I never understood the logic of doing that. So Marcus Wong plays that one off the boards, but Adelaide have it now through Riley.
Cluffy, what are you, hourly?
So shot batted away there by Downey, and that's hit the netting. Will have a face-off.
Well, it's, I guess, a 9-2 game. I mean, look, it has been pretty one-sided, but I can't say that it's been, you know, a game that I haven't enjoyed watching. I mean, there's been plenty to look at. Hasn't been particularly physical, but geez, we've seen some really nice goals.
Absolutely.
Depending on your point of view, maybe not all of them so nice, but...
Kachia gets that one out towards Velez. Now Powell, stripped of the puck. Kachia will go back. Out towards Bonolo. That back to Kachia. A couple of the youngsters for the Melbourne Ice teaming up. Kachia has just had too much time to play with on that occasion. Then fans on his own pass. Probably got a bit tired. Now Bonolo, Stapleton. Kachia's there also. Powell. Just steady the ship. Boyle just hasn't been able to keep it in. So Powell has the puck. He's forced out wide. He's taken down.
Oh, dear.
Taken down again, so no hat trick for you. Shot. Frederick makes the save from the shot by Velez.
All in the hunt. Oh, dear.
And the pass misses everybody.
That's going awry. Downey there is going to have to push that one out. But now Wong out to Powell. Powell puts a shot on straight into the logo on Frederick.
I reckon Steve's had a job after that, doesn't James?
Mate, I just thought, got to try it on at some point, hey?
Yeah, put on the resume, play-by-play. There's Facebook groups I can add you to now.
I was going to say, just lucky for me that there happen to be 5 players on that I happen to recognise the numbers of.
So
face-off, won by Melbourne Ice there. Back to Holland. Holland brings it out to Apperson. Apperson waits, goes across there for Riley, but the pass doesn't connect. And Melbourne Ice are going to try and bring it out. Up along the boards there, but that pass goes missing. Holland here will pick it back up for the Adrenaline. Passes it out straight through Riley. Riley back to Holland. And the Adrenaline are going to take their time to set up, but it's probably not going to matter. 7 seconds left on the clock. Hoddick passes back across, centers it to Clark, and Clark being told to shoot. Doesn't put it on, and that will do us. It's the Melbourne Ice at 9-2 over the Adelaide Adrenaline here in Melbourne. Michael Clough, your thoughts?
Well, it is the performance of Melbourne Ice, the style of hockey Melbourne Ice haven't presented all season. Now, I know we mentioned a few times about what the game really meant in the big scheme of things. They play in the bottom side. But, gee, if they had been bringing that type of hockey more often this season, they would still be in finals calculations, let's be honest.
Oh, absolutely. Look, absolutely right. I think if you're a Melbourne Ice fan, you know, I mean, that's a pretty nice one to have come out to see today. The Ice have certainly rewarded their fans here at home who have come out to a dead rubber encounter. As for the Adrenaline, well, look, I don't think that's going to affect these boys that much. I mean, I'm watching the handshake line here in front of me. No one looks particularly upset at this point in time. I mean, the season is the season. The boys already know that. They're a good quality club that's being run really well. And realistically, the Adrenaline next year are just going to be that much better again than where they are now. I think Friedrich was really great to stick it to net eventually there as well. Good to see the kid get some minutes, and I thought he was a real calming influence out there.
And James Downey, of course, you just see in the wide shot there, his final game for the season before he heads back to North America, and he walks away with a win as well. But we better wrap things up here from O'Brien Group Arena. In the end, it was a very comprehensive win to the Melbourne Ice. They defeated the Adelaide Adrenaline 9-2. My name's Michael Clough, and behalf of my co-commentator James Morgan. We hope you enjoyed today's game, and well, maybe just me. We'll see you next time.
Keep your head up.